Hey everyone, I'm Howard Pinsky, and in this Adobe XD video, we're going to take a look at creating interactive components using key, voice, and even gamepad triggers. Let's get to it. Here we are in Adobe XD with an experience I've been working on for a media browsing app built primarily for TVs and consoles. And now that the design is taking shape, I'd love to add in some interactions to the various components that I've created. Taking a quick look at how this is all set up, I've created a large component that contains the featured shows at the top, and a nested component with a few categories at the bottom. Each of these components are also set up with various states that we'll want to cycle between when the prototype is launched. And to start that process, let's switch over to prototype mode at the top. Starting off with the featured shows, we'll want to navigate to the left and to the right, and also expand the Sands of Time series. Now, I'm going to select the arrow on the left for this first interaction, but the beauty of key, gamepad, and voice triggers is that you can select just about any object inside of this component. Now, instead of dragging this blue handle to a separate artboard like you may have done previously, single-clicking on it will allow you to choose the destination state within the Properties Inspector, and in this case, it'll be End of Times. We can also customize the easing options right down below. We'll keep it fairly simple with ease in-out and a duration set to around 0.6 seconds. Next up, let's choose the trigger that will kick off the interaction. If this was a desktop experience, tap would be a good bet, but since we're focused on consoles, keys and gamepad will work great. Now, inside of this field, we can not only use our keyboard to assign a key, but if you have an Xbox or PlayStation controller hooked up to your computer, you can use the various buttons as well. I'll go with the left thumbstick and navigate left. Even though this experience is designed specifically for consoles, some of the users testing this may not have access to a controller. So to help with that, I can click on the plus button to add in an additional trigger, like the left arrow on my keyboard, and have this navigate to the same state. You know what, maybe I'll also add in a tap trigger, just to cover all grounds. But wait, we're not done yet. To help those unable to use input devices, a voice trigger can also be added, and for the command, let's go with something like navigate left. Alright, let's quickly wire up the next layer, which will lead to the Back to the Futura state. I already have a few set up, so I'll add one more and use the left thumbstick on my controller to navigate to the right. Finally, we may want to expand this show to reveal more info. So for this interaction, I'll select the entire group, click on the handle, then choose the expanded state within the Properties Inspector, and for the trigger, I'll use the A button. Quickly, before we preview, I'm going to switch over to the expanded state, select the group one more time, and then assign the B button to return to the default state. Now, I've previously gone ahead and wired up the cards on the left and the right with triggers that will transition back to the middle. So let's take a quick peek at the prototype so far. Using the thumbstick on my Xbox controller, I can visit the card on the left, head over to the card on the right, and then from the middle, A to expand, then B to go back. Of course, this can go much deeper than one single component. As mentioned earlier, I have the categories component nested in this larger one, and it's also wired up with gamepad and key triggers. Inside of the expanded state, I have a component to reveal and cycle through the various episodes. The menu component over on the left contains a few wired up states, and I also have a login screen containing multiple users. Now, it's important to note, we do recommend that you avoid using the same trigger across multiple components on a single artboard. But if you absolutely must, interactions will trigger starting with the components lowest in the layer stack. This is why I have the login screen below the featured component, and I was able to set the Z position at 1 to ensure it displays above. And once everything's been set up properly, you'll be able to interact with the entire prototype all on a single artboard using your input devices. And that's how you can create interactive components using key, voice, and gamepad triggers in Adobe XD. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Make sure to subscribe for more content, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you all next time.